When I looked at the readings for today, the one that stood out to me was James chapter 3. I've been thinking a lot about leadership lately because I'm currently taking a class in leadership, and I feel like the two kinds of wisdom are lessons in God's gifts to us and what we do with them. In essence, it's a lesson in leadership. Leadership comes in so many forms, and it is not necessarily what we think of. So I have a story that helped me think about what we do with the gifts that we are given. In this garden, there are 2 fruit trees. The gardener tends to both of those fruit trees, giving them all of the love and nurturing possible. For years, the gardener tends the trees until it is time for them to bear fruit. One of the trees just happens to have the better position in the garden. Kind of like some of us have a better position to start out from. The gardener watches as both of those trees blossom, and those blossoms turn to fruit. And the fruit ripens. The tree that is in the better position bears a large amount of the most beautiful fruit, while the other one bears lesser and smaller fruit. The gardener continues to tend to both of those trees. And at the end of the summer, the fruit is harvested. The fruit borne by the tree who bears less, and the fruit that are smaller, are the sweetest, most delectable fruit the gardener has ever had, while the fruit of the other tree seems to be almost tasteless. They're big, they're beautiful, but they don't taste quite as good. In James, there is a discussion of the 2 types of wisdom. One of those is the humility that leads to good deeds, and is the wisdom that comes from heaven. The other type of wisdom is not from heaven, that which leads us to envy and selfish ambition. One of the qualities of a good leader is humility, having the ability to take a back seat sometimes and to lift others up, create success for the whole in many organizations. God is constantly looking to see what kind of fruits we are bearing. Life provides countless opportunities to bear good fruits. In an example, some money drops from a man's pocket. You notice it. You have the choice to take the money or alert the man who dropped it and say, "Sir, you dropped some money. Can I give it back to you?" Each day, we have different scenarios that are provided to us where we can make those kinds of decisions. The question is, how conscious are we of those decisions? Or do we just go through life mindlessly seeking personal gain? Certain kinds of trees produce certain types of fruit, just like in the story. One tree produced great big beautiful fruit that didn't taste very good, and one tree produced smaller fruit. It didn't have the better position in the garden. The question is, what kind of tree are you? What kind of fruit are you producing? Just because you are being fertilized, in the sense that you are surrounded by good things, does not always mean that you're being favored by God. On the flip side, the very fact that you are surrounded by good things puts you at a much higher level of responsibility. The question is, what do you do with what you have? Are you using what you have for God and other people, or is it all centered around yourself? We should give careful thought to what kind of tree we are. More importantly, what kind of fruits are we producing? Are we producing fruits of love? Are we producing fruits of anger, jealousy, envy, and hatred? Are we leaders through our actions and deeds? Do we use that wisdom that comes from heaven? Do we use our talents and gifts to raise others? Are we leaders in our community by those deeds and actions? St. Basil said, "A tree is known by its fruit, a man by his deeds. A good deed is never lost. He who sows courtesy reaps friendship. and he who plants kindness gathers love. That was my message for today.